think everything's working. Welcome guys and welcome to round 3 of Formula International Racing League. We're here in Singapore today for the qualifying, the 18 minutes of death around here. This is the hottest Grand Prix when Malaysia went off the calendar, and we have 11 drivers today, which is I believe one more than what we had last time. So I believe that K-Dog is joining us for the first time this season. They joined us last season in Brazil. I'm sure that she was excited to get ready in this league once again. But the 11 drivers as formation, and we have both of the Mercedes, who obviously got the 1-2 last time out. We're going to see who has came out first. I think it's Tifosi, so we're going to ride on board with the Ferrari driver, looking very nice under the headlights of Singapore, getting ready for their first flying lap. I think it will be a two-stop strategy for most drivers around here, since I think a few might go on the medium tyre, which will be the optimum strategy around here. But we'll see if the drivers can carry it out. Cam, as you can see, will definitely be trying to attempt the one stop today, going on the hard tyres, which I think he's just trying to get some practice in before he moves on to the medium tyre compound. So yeah, and he'll be wanting to get out of the way of Brian. Please do excuse some background noise. It is just my PlayStation acting like a jet, as it usually does. But yep, we're gonna get some telemetry up on this drivers, and we're gonna move to Tifosi as he is coming around the final sector now to start his final lap. And we can also see who is using the tyre compounds, and we've also got Lord Z in the pit lanes, but other than that, everyone else on track. Hopefully trying to create some space from the car ahead and the car behind. I do excuse a little bit of lag in the whole of the live stream, but we are going around the final corner with Tifosi. He's going to go down the front straight, turning into turn 1. You want to be braking late and moving into third gear, maybe fourth gear for some drivers, and getting the extra rotation in first gear. Going nicely on the power and going around turn 4 now. Very tricky, as it's very easy to understeer wide on that corner. Going down the back straight now, DRS is open. We're going to see what time he's put in for the first sector split, and it's a 27.2, which is not bad at all for his first sector time. But we have to wait for. We have a yellow flag, and we're going to extend the mini map to see who it was. I think it was either Pink Spartan. I think it's Pink Spartan who was off a little bit, but we're going to keep on board with Tifosi coming around his first 5 laps, and this is where Charles Leclerc got his third pole position in a row, which was really good to see the Ferrari do so well after the summer break. But can we see Tifosi, the only Ferrari driver racing today? Is he going to take pole position like Charles Leclerc has done, like Vettel did in 2017? We will see. Cam not had a great weekend today, as he was he DNF'd. No, he was 10th in a different league race, and now that he's DNF'd in this qualifying session, that will really put a down on things. And Tifosi has invalidated his lap on the final chicane, so we're going to move on board with the next driver. So I think it's Conman, and yes, it's Conman going around the final corner. He's going to set his first time, and it's a 1:38.1. That's not a bad lap time to start off with on the soft compound tyre, but I'm sure he'll want to improve on that lap time before other people jump him. And Santi's already done a 1:36.6. That is a solid lap time by him, and he's 1.1 second quicker than what Brian, the winner of the first 2 races and the leader of the championship, obviously, and he is 1.1 seconds quicker. So I think these front 3 drivers are going for the the two-stop. Probably not the optimum strategy around here, and the tyres do start to overheat on the first couple of laps as we see Tifosi in the wall. So we're going to go on board with him, and I think he's just lost it coming into the Singapore Sling section of the track. Obviously is no longer here. And shout out to Scanvi on the hard compound tyre with a 139, and it's very difficult to get 139 on the hard compound tyres, but he's done it. So he'll be going on the mediums next, and he'll be hoping to jump a few other drivers. And we've also got K-Dog, who has completed the first of her laps, and yep, she's just coming in for the in lap. So we're going to go on board with Lord Z, the season 1 champion of the world, and he'll be wanting to put in a good lap time for the rest to see. And he's going to come round down the back straight now. DRS is open. We're going to see what his first sector split is, and I'll just see if anyone else has anything going on. I think everyone else is just pitting now, but Lord Z, not a bad first sector split, and he just goes straight into the barrier, and that is bad luck for him because it looked like it was coming on to be a decent lap there, and Lord Zed's retired for some reason. I'm not sure why he's done that. I think is it a glitch, or is he just actually retired? Lord Zed has retired in this Grand Prix. That's a bit strange. I don't know why he retired, because he was definitely on for somewhat of a decent qualifying to put him up in the standings, because he hasn't had that great of the first 2 rounds in this league, and he was hoping to score a few points today, and that's really put him on the back foot compared to the other drivers, and he'll have to come through the pack in this Grand Prix, which is unfortunate for him. But I'm going to stay on board with Conman, because he is on his in lap, I think, and he's come around the final sector now. And actually no, we'll go on board with Spaceman, because I think he's coming in for his in lap. We might as well ride on board with him anyway, because everyone else is in the pit lane. Actually, we'll go on board with Tifosi, who's coming out for second lap of the session. As you know, it's probably one of the longest tracks on the calendar. Probably not the longest on time. I believe that is Spa getting that record, well, so far anyway, because we don't know what the other tracks are going to be like, such as Vietnam. I think Vietnam is going to be a little bit shorter than the other circuits. But Tifosi and Drummer and Santi and Ryan all on their outlaps, and Scanvi going out surprisingly early for the medium tyre run. I would be wanting to go out on the final moments of qualifying where the grip is at its highest, and he'll be wanting to really take advantage of the maximum tyre grip around this track, since grip is pretty much all that matters around this track. If you have straight line speed, it does not matter, because you'll lose time in the corners, but there's not many places to overtake, so a useful engine is always good. So people might be running some lower wings than other people, because they will be wanting to defend a little bit more in the race. But so far, Santi taking over this qualifying session by storm, and I think Lord Zed might have lagged out, so it was really unfortunate for him, because he cannot rejoin, I don't think. It's going to be unfortunate for him, and I will check the comments to see who that was. Yep, cheers, John. Really appreciate it. Mate. Yep, thanks. I'm so disappointed in you, Joe. So disappointed in you. I'll play Euro Truck Simulator later, Joe. Sorry, guys. Yep, we'll just We're going to ride on board with Tifosi because he's on his flying lap now. So he's come round the hairpin and he's going to go down the back straight where DRS was there in the real life Grand Prix in 2019. It's not here in the game, but he's coming around the final sector now. He's set a purple middle sector, so that's pretty good from him so far, and he's understeered wide for the chicane. That's going to mess up his rhythm through the final couple of corners, and he's going to come round under the bridge and coming through the final chicane, and even validated it again, and he's half spun. Luckily he saved that. I know he hasn't always just kept the car on track, and we do have a yellow flag, which is Tifosi. So Santi's also had to pull out of his lap since everyone seems to be invalidating theirs. And we're going to see what Conman has set in his first, and he's not improved. So we're going to go on board with Scanvi, who's got up to P2. Amazing lap from him there on the medium compound tyre, no less. 1:37 is really a time to beat for the medium tyre runners, which is the K-Dog, the teammate of Scanvi, who's also on their flying lap. So we'll see what she can do. Coming through the middle sector now, going through the Singapore sling section. We're going to go, actually I think Conman might be off. Yep, he's just gone off, coming out or going into the chicane. He's going to have to wait because, yep, he's just waited up for K-Dog, and K-Dog still 1/10 down on her time. We're going to see what she does through the middle sector. She is up on the time, so we'll keep on board with her if no one else is on their lap. So going through the second to last chicane, or the third to last chicane actually, many chicanes in the final sector, and going through the bridge section, and now through the final chicane. She goes mounting the curb, not taking too much of the second curb, going through the final corner now, and let's see what time she can do. Say 1:42.2. I don't think that's going to be too competitive with the top times, but I'm sure she can set a better lap time, as I think there's time to improve on in the first and second sector. Yep. And actually, we're going to see if Scampy goes in. I think yes, he has. So we'll go on board with Lord Zed, who is coming through the middle sector now. This is and he's rejoined back, and that's great news because we want to see him in the fight for the lead against Santi and Scanvi. And I really feel like Scanvi has the upper hand over everyone in this qualifying session, and he's obviously got the advantage in the race. And sets him purple middle sector, does Lord Zed. Now he's going to go through the final sector, and coming through the final couple of chicanes, and we've got another comment by probably hello. I think it's Robot. Hello, Robot. So Lord Zed's coming around the final corner now, and he's going to come to the line, runs out of VRS just before the lap time, and it's a 1:38 flat. Not competitive compared to Santi, and Brian and Scanvi's time, but still very much up there with the top 5. Conman's really not that far behind though, so he'll have to watch out for him as Conman is on probably his final lap now, and we're gonna pay attention. My dad is Joe, please stop, please, I'm begging you. We have a yellow flag sector 2. I think that might be, I don't know who that is actually, but we will Still, I think it might be Space. No, it's Lord Z. Yeah, Lord Z goes off, coming out of turn 8, I believe. I think it's turn 8. And we also got another comment. It's nice to see OFR legend in P1. Yep, Santi is the legend of OFR, and he'll always be God. But Brian is up by 8/10 on his lap time, so could we see his change of positions for the lead? Brian coming around the third to last chicane, nailing the curbs there, going through the bridge section as Tifosi moves up to P4, and he's coming through the final chicane now, and he's going to come to the final corner almost flat out in these brand new F1 cars, but he cuts it a lot and gets away with it, and he does a 1:36.5. that is taken over Santi's lap time, and that is a real mark in this qualifying session. That's a great time from him. And I don't think anyone else is setting a time except from Conman. So we'll ride on board with Conman now. Conman has invalidated the lap time, so we'll move on to, like, everyone else is either on their out lap or they're in the pits, because I think Conman might retire, because I don't know what his fuel situation's like, so he might have enough fuel to go for another lap, but we'll have to see. Yep, we are. Conman is still on his flying lap once again, and he's going to come down the front straight now. He wants to brake late into turn 1, shifts down to 4th gear, takes a nice amount of curb, going through turn 3 now, nails that pretty perfectly, going through turn 4, which is very easy to understeer through that corner. We couldn't really see as the angle wasn't right. He's going to come around the flat out turn 5, and through to turn 6, which is pretty difficult to spot, and he's 2/10 down on his previous lap, so he'll really need to pick up the pace to catch up to the Pink Spartan and maybe even the likes of Tifosi. And he has invalidated his lap time, and that is going to be it for him. So we're going to move on board with Scanvi, who is down on the lap time, and Santi set a purple lap time. So can we see a switch of positions in the top? And I don't think anyone else is really going to set a competitive lap time in this qualifying session, and we're going to have to wait to see his second split as Santi's going through the Singapore sling section, obviously removed, and you don't want to hit that inside curb, and you want to be taking a nice amount of curb in the hairpin, going the back straight and braking nice and late into this corner. You want to be taking all the curb on the outside, which Santi doesn't really do, but it's fine because he does it nice and cleanly. Going through the third to last chicane, it takes a nice amount of curb, doesn't corner cut, so that's always good. So when he comes through the bridge chicane and going round the final chicane, is it going to be pole position? Is he going to steal it off Brian on the closing stages? He's going to come around the final corner now. He goes nice and late on the top as well. That is a brilliant lap time from Santi, a 1:36.193. That is better, I think, than Leclerc's pole time from the 2019 actual Singapore Grand Prix. I'm going to check now. And I think yes, and he did it by about 0.02 of a second, as Leclerc's was a 1:36.217. So Santi breaking records all over here, and that's brilliant lap time from him. Santi, the OFR legend. Well, Santi Wrecker gets his second pole in a row now. Brian P2, the championship leader. Scanvi, great lap time on the medium tyres. Tifosi P4 in the Ferrari. Pink Spartan P5. Lord Z P6. Conman P7. Trummer P8. K-Dog P9. Spaceman P10. And Cam Cam with no time set, retiring early in the qualifying session. That is it for FIRL qualifying session here in Singapore, and we're going to see what our drivers can do here in the race. Santi. I think we've got a bit of a fan base in the comments for Santi here today. So, but we want to see a good fight, a good dog fight for the top position on the podium. Yes, Super Bounty, I will make you moderator. Ooh, and someone's readied up early. I think it was either Tifosi or the Pink Spartan, or them both. But I think that the formation lap is more important here than anywhere else. You don't want to overheat your tyres, because going into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3 is really easy to lose the rear of the car. Yes, I will give you some spicy commentating at Super Bounty, and they're all weaving, going down the front straight, and they'll be weaving throughout this lap, trying to get heat into those tyres. They don't want to put too much heat in, because if you overheat the tyres, well then you've pretty much messed up your first lap, and you'll be way down the order. So Santi needs to be watching out for the tyre temps on the formation lap. I think the optimum temperature for your tyres is around 90 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure about the rears. I think the rears are a little bit less important. Well, no, the fronts are less important than the rears. You don't want to overheat the rears at all, because wheel spin off the start will put you down in a tedious position to crash. And I think we might see a few crashes here today in this Grand Prix. Singapore, as you know, the longest track on this on the F1 calendar, and there's really not that many places to overtake. If you're daring, you can overtake into turn 4, but you need to be or turn 6, I think it is actually. But you have to be very daring, and a lot of people just turn in, no matter if you're there or not. And yeah, you want to be very aware of that, since it could easily ruin your race. But yeah, Singapore, probably the hardest track on the grid, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of people sweating in the cockpits here today, because it's just so daunting. Every single lap is just Joe, it's Santi, as in Santiago. So everyone is coming to the grid now. Santi, his AI has taken over, and there has actually been a few collisions on this formation lap, and I think it's a Renault and a Haas. I think it's Lord Z and maybe Conmat, maybe Tifosi. No, Tifosi was fine. Anyway, there we have. We're about to have some lights pop up in Singapore. We've got 2 lights, we've got 3 lights, we've got 4 lights, we've got 5 lights. It's lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Santi gets a pretty decent start, but I think the top... Oh, and Santi completely takes out Brian. That is some controversy right there. Santi already taking someone out. That, yeah, I just don't think he knew he was there. But virtual safety car for the start of this Grand Prix. And Santi, what have you done? What have you done? he's completely oblivious. He was just completely oblivious to Brian being there, and it's pretty much ruined Brian's first half of the race. He's going to have to go for the order, and as we know, Singapore is not exactly the easiest place to overtake around here. Yep, that is how you close the door to a bounty. And I have to be honest, I've got to lay the blame on Santi there. That was completely his fault and his doing. Not many people are very happy about what Santi just did, and this is meant to be his fan base right here. And yeah, we're gonna carry on in this Grand Prix no matter what happens. Santi probably gets some post-race penalties, and there's actually a collision in the rear of the pack. And I think, it's Drummer into the barrier, lost complete front wing, and that is really unfortunate for him. And he's going to have to carry on in this Grand Prix without any front wing, and the pink Spartan's retired. I would like to see what happened there. We're going to try and catch it with Spaceman. Or Can, we'll see what happened. And I think he might have just... Yeah, he's just hit the barrier there, and that's got to come out. No virtual safety car, surprisingly enough. As they cleared the car now, and Drummer is really out of position in this Grand Prix. And yeah, this is brutal for everyone involved, and Santi probably made a very big mistake, and Pink Spartan DNFing in this Grand Prix on the first lap. Well, Singapore, as we know, is very difficult, and just proving the point even more. But Scavney, I've pronounced your name wrong the whole time, I'm very sorry, is in P2 in this Grand Prix, not having the best of times here. He's in position, and he's also the front medium runner. In fact, I think he might be the only medium runner. Nope, we got K-Dog, the other Racing Point. She is also on the medium compound tyre. That's what she was. Santi, I'm sorry, and there's a Ferrari. Ferrari's gone off with... I don't know who that is. Spaceman? I think it was Spaceman, and we're going to see Tivosi's front wing, because I don't think it's in a great shape. Anyway, we're already down to 10 runners. Surprising. I just want to see his front wing, and it's fine. Brian doing okay in this Grand Prix after Santi spinning him out on the first turn. Santi's obviously set the quickest lap of the session so far, but Scavney really not that far behind, and he'll be trying to catch Santi, or even just trying to sit behind him and just keep by him. And if he can keep by him, well, then he'll be in a great spot. But I think Santi's pace will really come when the first pit stop comes for him, along with Conman and Lord Zed, and Lord Zed obviously being our champion of the world in FIRL, a rebrand of the name. Indeed, Tifosi's in the pit lane though. I thought he had no damage, and yeah, he doesn't have any damage. He's just moving on to the medium set of compound, and he will be behind Brian and behind Cam maybe. No, I think he might just come out ahead of Cam, so that's pretty lucky for him. But Santi is getting closed down by Scavney, and he's on the medium compound tyre, so maybe maybe the Santi's soft tyre is really not going very long in this Grand Prix, and it's only lap 3 and he's already struggling. What's happening to Santi's surprisingly slow? And now Scavney only 5/10 away. Are we going to see a swap of the lead this early on in the Grand Prix? Will Santi cover off the inside? Scavney does have some low fuel. I'm sorry guys. So sorry. Yeah, but Scavney still in the fight for the top here, the top position. But other than these guys, they've cleared off so far. And come on, man, he's sticking by it, but Lord Zed is right behind him, and we wanted. Oh, what's it? Oh, come on, spun out. That's some front wing damage for him. A lot of all his front wing is now gone, as he was in such a good position only 2 corners ago, and now he's down in P4 but no front wing, and he's very far away from the pit lane. So I think Santi and Scafney are the closest on track so far, and let's see who the biggest winners are out of this first for a couple of laps. And safety car's out. Why is the safety car out? I don't really know. This is going to help Conman out a lot, and I would just like to see why, because I mean, K-Dog does have a bit of front wing damage. Okay, Spaceman's okay. Drummer's picked up a penalty. This has really helped the likes of Spaceman, K-Dog, Brian, Tifosi, Cam, Drummer. All of them are now back in this Grand Prix, and probably the biggest loser out of this will be Santi, who's coming into the pit lane now. He'll be putting on the medium set, I reckon. Will Scavney also? Yes, Scavney's also coming in the pits, along with Lord Zed and Conman, who's lost his front wing. Will K-Dog pit, or will he just carry on for another lap? Nope, no, he's pitting in this lap. And Spaceman, I reckon, will pit in for because he might as well. He's not going to really catch up many drivers here. But no, he's carried on, and he might even take a few drivers. He might move up to P4. Yeah, he's coming out in P4. Not bad for him. Not a bad place to be in, but he is on the soft wet tyre, so that does put him on the back foot a little bit for the safety car restart, since the soft tyres are only meant to go a couple of laps more in this Grand Prix. This actually really helped out Santi, because those tyres were beginning to harm him in this Grand Prix and really putting him under pressure from Scavney. And the safety car might help him pull away a little bit, since they're on the same amount of tyre pressure and tyre wear. So yeah, they should be okay. And really unfortunate for the pink Spartan. Just lost the wheel going through the bridge section, which is a very easy place to lose it. But I will invite him to the lobby. No, I'm not going to invite him to the YouTube live stream. But the safety car has bunched everyone up. The only people that are really trying to catch up now is Cam and Drummer, but they'll be like right behind the gap. And for some reason Cam kind of cut across the pit lane entry bit, we're gonna read the chat as the Grand Prix has kind of gone to a halt. This has helped the drivers out that are running at low fuel as well, who just need to regather the fuel mix and really just get to an optimum amount of fuel level so they can run rich for a little bit of this Grand Prix. But I think safety car might either be in this lap or next lap, and we're gonna take it from Santi, and we'll see what we can do on the restart of this Grand Prix. To all the 4 people watching, this is FIRL, and we're here for the 3rd round of the championship in Singapore. So the championship standings I will go through now because it's pretty straightforward. Mercedes have taken control of it so far. So we're going to firstly see if the safety car is in this lap. I don't know when we'll really find out. Yes, safety car is coming in this lap. So we'll quickly run through the constructors first. So Mercedes are on 80 points, Ferrari 34, Renault 28, Haas 25, Red Bull 18, Williams 6, Toro Rosso 4 and Racing Point in last position with 2 points in 8th place. And we'll go through the championship order in the end of this Grand Prix. But Santi is on their safety car restart now and he's gone, and we're going to see as Scavney is in the slipstream going around the outside. Can he make the move stick? No, he cannot. He's going to have to wait a few corners. Santi understeers wide into turn 2, and yeah, he's stayed in the position. Lord Zed will be wanting to try and get past Scavney straight away because he's not going to want to let Santi run away in this Grand Prix, and we do not know if Scavney's tyres are going to last to the end with those 7-lap-old, or and they'll be 24 laps old, or even longer than that. It'll be 27 laps old, so they will not hold up for this whole Grand Prix, I'm pretty sure. So will we have to see Scavney pit? We're going to definitely see the rest of the field pit. Okay, will we see Scavney pit? There's a question mark so far, but Santi's kind of rolled away in this Grand Prix so far, and he's got a 1.3 second gap over Scavney now, and Lord Zed is right all over the back of Scavney here. He's going to be in the slipstream going down the front straight. DRS is not going to be available yet, as Scavney goes a little bit wide and understeers, and that's put Lord Zed in an even better situation than he was a couple of corners ago. He's going to be all over the back of him, and Scavney understeers again, so he's getting a lot of problems with heat in the tyres. And we've also got Drummer off in the back of the grid. We have to see any front wing damage for him. Yeah, he's got all of his front wings gone, so we're going to move back on board with Lord Zed, because that's just really unfortunate for him, as Santi's really cleared off now. 3 seconds is the lap, and you can see how much later Lord Zed can brake compared to Scavney. And yeah, it's just amazing. And Brian's still there. He was spun on the first corner and he was down in like P9, is now in P4 and fighting for the top positions. And everyone in from 2nd to 5th are within a second of each other. And we're seeing Scavney completely back all of them up, as Santi is just going to clear off. And Lord Zed looking a little bit slow coming out of turn 7 there, and going to get a bit of slipstream going down every single one of these straights. But dirty air is going to be affecting him through his tight and twisty bits, going through this old Singapore sling place. Brian picks up a warning there, and Coleman has picked up a 3-second penalty, which is vital in this Grand Prix. Lord Zed goes a little bit wide, coming out of the hairpin, and he's going to keep the position, but he's losing time to Scavney now, as Scavney's probably warmed up the tyres a lot better than Lord Zed has now. Scavney was understeering everywhere, and now he seems to get the tyres on check. But Scavney goes wide again, and again, if one mistake, they can be right on the back of you again. And Santi clearing off. Nothing else to say. But we will review Santi's incident after the race. And yeah, it was pretty blatant to see him turn in, but we'll ignore that for now and focus on what's happening at this moment in time. And we're also seeing Brian move more backwards as he goes a little bit wide, carrying way too much speed, going into turn 1 and understeering wide for turn 2 and missing his apex for turn 3 and really ruining his exit out of turn 3 and braking for turn 4. Is now he can start getting back into the action, but he's losing touch of second and third position. Nothing else to really say except from Santi has had an amazing restart and he's now 4 seconds ahead of the chasing pack, and everyone, Conman is very close behind, so we're going to spectate Conman for a bit as he breaks late into Singapore's slaying section. And they've all seemed to corner cut there as Conman picks his second penalty. I think it was on the same place last lap, and he hits the back of Brian, but luckily no front wing damage for him, I don't think. And actually, Conman's going for an overtake here, and he goes down the inside and pretty big move, and he completely swipes him, and he seems to be corner cutting everywhere now. It's a bit strange to see from him how much corner cutting he's done this lap and last lap, and this is just affecting his whole Grand Prix towards the end of it. But he's got past and clearly thinks he's got the speed over him, and it seems like so far he has. As we're on lap 9 now, going on to lap 10, Santi's got a 4.5 second gap, and Conman, oh, it looked like he was going in pits, and Lord Zed has lost the position, so he's got front wing damage, and that has affected him, and he's come to the pit lane now to put on surely the hard compound tyres, as I think he might have hit the wall on the bridge section and slowing them down for the 2 corners after that, and he's put a medium compound tyre on, which is a bit strange. So if he thinks he can go to the end on that, then surely Scavney can go to the end on his tyres, and that has put pressure off Scavney's shoulders, and that has created a massive breathing space for Scavney to chase after Santi. But I don't think he will. I think he'll just if he can keep the gap constant like that, then he should be fine to keep P2 and maybe even get P1 on strategy. I mean, so far this Grand Prix has been exhilarating and really, really good. And we're going to ride on board with Lord Zed since he's got these fresh compound tyres on, and surely he'll be quicker than everyone else, because as we saw, he's got the pace last season, so he should be fine. Because if he can keep the pace from last season, then he should be good to get solid positions in this. As we see a yellow flag in sector 2, and we don't know, I'm not sure who that is, so we're going to check everyone's front wings. We're going to check Scavney's. Scavney is okay, Conman is fine, so is Brian's, and we're going to see Tifosi's front wing, that's all fine. Cam, who had a terrible race previously, and we're going to I think it might be K-Dog, as she's just shipped position. Yes, it is K-Dog, with some front wing damage, and it's even more front wing damage now as she's completely lost the end plate, and she's lost pretty much all the winglets, and everyone's slowing down now, and the teammates collide. Spaceman has got front wing damage, and he's got a 5-second penalty with Spaceman. Spaceman's got a 5-second penalty, and both Hasses will surely come into the pit lane, and Lord Zed is coming into the pit lane along with K-Dog of an incident between the 2 Haas drivers. Weird stuff between teammates, as I think Spaceman was trying to let K-Dog and his teammate through, but then Spaceman just goes straight into the back of him and costs Lord Zed another pit stop. And he was in P10. He was in P3, but now he's now in P10, and really unfortunate for him. I think, yep, Santi's got a 6-second gap now from Scavney. I'll check the comments. No, there wasn't. I was lying to myself. But yeah, Santi still 6.3 seconds is the gap, and Conman just outside the DRS zone. And we're actually going to go on board with Lord Zed, who is very close to K-Dog. And will we see a move by Lord Zed now, because he's so close to the back of the racing point, and she'll be, well, looking behind her, pretty nervous, as the former world champion is right up behind her. That sounds wrong, I'm sorry, I'll never say that ever again. But she does got understeer wide, and Lord Zed goes around the outside, and K-Dog lets him through. But no! Lord Zed hits the wall once again, and he's surely got front wing damage. And yeah, another pit stop it might be, as we see Spaceman coming into the pit lane for a new front wing, and Can moving in for another pit stop, as Santi picks up a 3-second penalty. But Spaceman, Lord Zed, that is 3 pit stops in 3 laps, which is affecting his Grand Prix and really putting it in the dump, as both teammates were in the pits, and it's been a horrible day for the Haas team so far. Really unfortunate for him. I'm going to keep on board with Santi for a lap of race leading lap, I should say. And yeah, he's just turning around turn 4 now, and pretty much hitting the apex, and doesn't hit the wall on the outside, which is really good to see. And he'll be taking all the apexes here and shifting down into 3rd gear through here. Nice trail braking from Santi Wrecker 7, and going through turn 8 and turn 9. Oh no, that's turn 8, and coming up to turn 9, 10 and 11, which used to be Singapore's thing, as you've heard me say about 15 times in this Grand Prix. But actually, whilst everything's a little bit calm, actually we're going to stay on board with Conman and see what he can do against Scavney. And yeah, we're just going to see what Conman can do against him, as we know Conman has a few penalties, but hopefully we can see some good racing from both of them, no matter what the penalties are. But we will check the championship standings now, and Brian taking 50 points in the first 2 races, which is a race win both times, and Tifosi P2, and Conman's out! Conman is out of the Grand Prix, and just as I was talking about making an overtake, he loses it in the wall. And whilst I was obviously reading the championship, and Santi's in the pit lane now, this is a huge advantage for Santi, as he's just coming to the pit lane just as the safety car comes out. Does it get any more lucky for this guy? And he will come out in P3 surely, maybe even P2. Tifosi comes down the pit lane, and yep, he just makes it through in P2. And this really spices things up, as Conman DNFs and safety car has come out, and this is making this race come back alive for this Grand Prix. I'm about to ban Joe in the comments because he's just being annoying. Tifosi's also in the pit lane, and he's just coming through. He's just past his pit box, and he's coming out of the pit lane. I'm surprised the drummer Tifosi was a 1 minute 30-second gap, which is surprisingly big, as they've already caught the safety car, and Brian, who was a lap down or last at one point in this Grand Prix, has come through and he's now P1. So yeah, give me the logic on that. That is an amazing performance from him so far in the Grand Prix. But Santi has the fresh tyres. Santi has the tyres that will make it to the end. Brian does not. And Scanvi, I'm guessing, is on the medium tyre. Will that go half race distance? I don't know. As Conman has now been overtaken by Lord Zed, who was the only one hoping for a safety car. Or he was one of the other ones that was hoping for a safety car. And I guess he's got his wishes. And we see Scanvi on the mediums, and we're going to see what Tifosi's on. Tifosi's on the hards, Drummer's on the hards, and K-Dog on the hards, Cam on the hards, Spaceman on mediums, and Lord Zed is on the hard compound tyre. So that is, let's see how many stops he's made. He's got to have made tons of pit stops. He's made 5 stops now, which is more than anyone else by a considerable margin. The closest is Cam, and Brian now coming into the pit lane. So, a bit of a strategic nightmare for Brian here, as he is now going to fall behind Tifosi, maybe even Drummer. No, he's not going to fall behind Drummer. He's going to put on the mediums at a compound, and hopefully that will go for the end for him. And as we see Drummer come round, and he'll rejoin the safety car queue, and he'll rejoin behind the Mercedes of Brian. And the other Mercedes have been dominating this season so far, and now it's not looking so much because we have a new leader, which is Santi, who has actually led the whole of the Grand Prix. But he'll be wanting to lead. It doesn't matter about the first 15 laps, it's the last lap that counts. We want to be taking the checkered flag, and unless you get a penalty, which actually Santi does have a penalty, I might actually check the penalties now, because I would like to see if Santi has any more. So Santi only has 1 penalty, and Scanvi has 1 warning. That's brilliant for him. And Tifosi also only has 1. Brian does have a penalty. Drummer has a penalty, and K-Dog, she does not have a penalty. So that's great work from her as well. And Cam has 1 penalty, but I'm pretty sure that's been fixed in the pit lane, so he should be fine. Spaceman does have a penalty, but I'm pretty sure that's been fixed in the pit stops as well. Lord Zed, it doesn't matter how many times he pits, he will not get a penalty. That's great work from him. And Conman has 2 penalties in the Grand Prix. Pink Spartan obviously DNFing on the first lap, so that's really unfortunate for him. Conman, I don't know why he looked at his penalties. He's out of the Grand Prix, but very unlucky for the bottom 2 drivers. And yep, the people at the top are celebrating at the moment, and the safety car is out for another lap. So I'm gonna quickly go do something whilst you guys can see what Santi does just to get his tyres up to temperature on the final lap of the safety car. So I'm going to leave you with Santi's gameplay. So hopefully you guys acknowledged what Santi was doing on his outlap, or his outlap to the safety car restart. And we still have 3 viewers. As Santi picks up a 5-second penalty for nothing, pretty much. I would say you can definitely get that retracted, because he did nothing wrong there. And yeah, safety car is in this lap, so we're going to check. So Santi's actually dropping safety car quite a lot, but I don't think he needs to be dropping it that much, Santi. So yeah, let's just but he's dropping it quite a lot, so maybe he just wants to go as soon as he comes out that final chicane. He wants to drive down the front straight, so unlike Scanvi was on the last safety car restart. But the safety car is now entering the pit lane. It's going to peel off into this little place, and Santi will go racing again. He's going to be flat out around the final corner. We're going to go on board with Scanvi, who again has got a good drive off the final corner. He's going to try and go round the outside, brakes a little bit earlier than Santi. Santi goes way too wide, and that is pretty ruthless defending from Santi there. That's a little bit over the top as he brakes way too late. And yeah, I just don't think he's ready for what the hard compound tyre really was, as Scaveng's got a really good run coming out of turn 4 and into turn 5. Can't quite get the move done. Santi skids around the corner, and Cam is dropped a position to Lord Z, who wants to come back up in this Grand Prix after his poor first half of the race. And yeah, Santi coming around the Singapore Sting section, goes very close to the wall, and he'll be wanting to pull away from the pack as he's gone a little bit wide. He'll get good drive coming off the hairpin, and he should keep ahead in this Grand Prix. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's K-Dog, and we're going to check the front wings as safety car is at the pot again. That's just, I don't think it is a safety car. It's just not worth it, as I know Spaceman Spaceman doesn't even have front wing damage. It's just K-Dog who got a bit of front wing damage, and that's safety car deployed. I just don't think it's worth it. Safety cars just coming out too often in this game, and this is the 3rd safety car, so we've just come off the restart. Anyway, Tifosi's in the pit lane, so we'll check. He's fixing his front wing along with K-Dog, who will also fix her front wing. And he's going to have to wait for K-Dog to come through, but I don't think that will be a problem, since they are both on the rear of the pack. So, K-Dog, the only girl in the league, is in last position at the moment. She'll be wanting to come back up the pack, so she wants to be past Spaceman, and Tifosi wants to be past everyone, as he is second in the championship and wants to be chasing Brian down rather than falling down positions in the championship fight. And Santi, the only one who has stayed ahead the whole Grand Prix, and he's the only one that's done that so far in the league. Since the first race was Sheppy, and then it came out of control, but Santi's stayed in control the whole Grand Prix so far. As we know, in Singapore anything can happen, and there'll be around 12 laps to go after the safety car restart. So the safety car will carry on for another lap after this, and I mean it's just gonna help Santi out even more. And obviously Santi does have 2 penalties, I believe, but we can retract one since it was a little bit unfair. And I've caught it on stream, Santi. So if you're watching this post race, you will have this as a report file thing, and yeah, we'll be hoping it's not done too bad for his race purpose. Anyway, I think this is the last safety car that can come out, because it has been 3 safety cars, and I think there is a maximum of 3, so I think there will only be VSCs after this, and hopefully we can get racing, and just solid racing flat out the whole way through. Hopefully no more crashes in this Grand Prix, since we've lost the likes of the Mercedes of Pink Spartan and the McLaren of Conman, who's hopefully watching the stream, watching the rest of the race unfold. But yes, safety car is in this lap, as race control has confirmed it. And for anyone who would like to be part of this league or would like to join, you're welcome to join whenever you want. Just send me a tweet or DM me in Twitter or Instagram. My @ is AJWinF1, just as my YouTube name is, and I'm sure you'll be welcome. So then I'll just add you on Discord, and I'll send you the link to the League Discord, which would be great, because we are struggling with a few drivers. But now the safety car is coming out, and it's Santi's spiraling out of control, and no, everybody's out. Santi's out, Tifosi's out, and what a terrible safety car restart. And Santi spun on the last corner, trying to get height of it into the tyres, and just whammed on the throttle, and that is crazy. That is crazy. I think I was completely out of control of Santi. Go full throttle, and it backfired completely for him. So that's just really unfortunate for Santi, and also Tifosi, who was completely not at fault at all. He just saw a spinning Williams at the last moment and could do nothing about it. So that's really unfortunate for the Tifosi, and for the Tifosi, obviously, Ferrari. And yeah, that's nothing else to really say except from Drummer, who's kind of felt like he's not really been in this Grand Prix much. Is P6 at the moment, so he's just scraping the last couple of points up as Brian tries to go round the outside of Lord Zed, and he does achieve the position, because I think Lord Zed has fine front wing, so does Can and K-Dog. They're all fine, but Drummer is definitely not fine, as he needs to enter the pit lane and get a new fresh. And he's hit the wall again, and he's out. Drummer is out, and there's another safety car in this Grand Prix. 4 safety cars, it's got to be a record or something. The Spaceman just finding his way through, filing. It really is a sort of a centipede just going around the track. I'm not going to say the word because it's just disgusting. I think you all know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Um, but Scavney is still in the lead. Will we see a pit? Will we see him pit? I'll pit on softs, to be honest. Last bit of the Grand Prix. There'll be about 7 laps to go, and you'll be so much quicker than everyone else. It's unreal, to be honest. Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see 5 DNFs and 3 were in the same lap. So yeah, it's just really unfortunate to see every DNF in this Grand Prix. We saw Santi, his win taken out of his hands once again. Pretty much he was at the fault. And I would like to see the reactions of 3 people, because I'm sure many will be quite wound up with what's happened to all the 3 drivers. Will be really unfortunate. But we do see Lord Zed in the pit lane once again, who's made a record of 6 pit stops in this Grand Prix, and obviously it's just really, really unfortunate. No one else seems to pit, except from Lord Zed, who we'll see has the soft compound tyre, which is the strategy that I recommend. Do apologise for that one. A little bit bored on the safety car restarts. A little bit bummer, but I think we still might have one more lap of this to go. Spaceman's also into the pit lane for, I guess, soft compound tyres, and he's leaving the pit lane on mediums. Not really sure why he's done that. Not really sure. Anyway, what I will do on the restart is go on board with Brian, because I really want to see if he can get in the slipstream on this safety car restart. Because if he can make it 3 in a row for the Mercedes, that will make his championship lead almost unbreakable, because Tifosi's out, his main championship rival, the Pink Spartan's also out, I believe is third, so it will just make him untouchable, even though he's only 3 rounds in. And actually, before we go on the restart, I will go through championship order. Brian is leading the drivers' championship with 50 points. Tifosi 34, Pink Spartan third with 30 points, and Cam is P4 with 27. Chris is P5, who is, I don't believe, racing today, which is unfortunate. And Spaceman P5, not a bad result for him, joint with Chris. And P7 is Lord Z with 7 points, and 8th place is Sheppy, who was really unfortunate in the first Grand Prix and haven't seen him since. And Santi P9 with Fonias P2 and Drummer P11. And we do see Scavney now on the safety car restart, and he's going to try and clear off in the Grand Prix. Takes turn 1 quite sensibly, doesn't want to sail in there too much, as Brian's got a massive speed advantage over him right now. Scavney going round turn 4 now, and he's actually he's quite slow off the turns. Is Scavney quite slow into it, and Brian's gonna try and go right down the inside. Couldn't quite go round as Scavney blocks it off, but Brian round the outside he goes, and that's a brilliant move from him there. But Lord Z is poking at the leaders now. He's got 8 laps and a dream to win this Grand Prix. But Brian had a great safety car restart coming off this safety car. He's just got an amazing start, and he really carried out this Grand Prix. But Lord Z closing in, eating away at the gap, and he's going to be right on them in about a lap's time, and he'll be pouncing on Scavney for P2 in this Grand Prix. But he's just picked up a 3-second penalty, so you never really know. Might be decided on penalties, we don't know yet. Really hope it's not decided on penalties, because that will really affect the outcome of the Grand Prix, and we don't want to see that. We want to see flat out racing, and Scavney is going to try and go and get back his P1 position. Is he going to brake later? No, he's not. Yellow flag sector 1, it's going to be Cam once again. He's lost most of his front wing into the barrier. That's so unfortunate for him. He's been having a torrid day today, and it's just made it even worse. As Lord Z, he's in P2, he's coming for the lead of the Grand Prix. Scavney is actually a P1 now, so I think Brian made a horrid mistake, and maybe even front wing. He's lost his front wing completely. I've missed that, and that has spiced things up completely. I was about to fall asleep, but now you took Brian out. Yep, you took Brian out, and he's still there, but now he's got no front wing. He's got nothing. And Santi, you've ruined it for him. You really have, lad. And unfortunately, not looking like he's going to recover. But we can't We have to keep an eye on the gap between first and second. And now Lord Z is going to have DRS. He's had a torrid race here today, and this would really put the icing on the cake as Ryan coming to the pit lane now. He's in first place on the end of the first, on the end of this lap, the start of the lap, and now he is last, even behind Can, who is actually coming into the pit lane, so he won't be behind him. It'll be P5, which still wasn't a bad result, but it won't be an extension of the lead, I don't think. Well, it might be actually, because with how many people behind had DNF'd in this Grand Prix, so it might still be an extension of the lead for him. But Spaceman, surprisingly P4. That's pretty weird to see him. Also, K-Dog, she's going to get maybe her first podium of season 2. So you never know here. You never really know, especially in Singapore. You don't want to rule anyone out in this track, and this is certainly proving it here today. As Lord Z is all over the back of Scavney now. He's going to try and overtake anywhere. He's going to wait for the main straight. He's going to be smart like that. But I think we're going to stay on board with Lord Z in this fight for the lead. And it's going to go around the final corner now. It doesn't quite sail it in as much as Scavney did. He's in power mode 2, moving it back down, trying to save as much ERS as he can. And he's braking later everywhere. He's getting such good traction coming off of all of the corners, and this is where he wants to get the best traction of all, which he hasn't got. He's actually lost a lot as the dirty air affected him and made him understeer, and the slipstream will not matter as it will not close up enough. It does close in a lot on the braking zone, so that's something that he will recognise, as he almost goes into the back of Scavney, and that is a very close call for Lord Z, and he's going to have to move back up onto the back of Scavney. And now it's going to be an interesting fight here, because Lord Z is probably a little bit woken that up a lot, as he's almost went to the back of Scavney, and Scavney might even pick up his first victory here today in this Grand Prix, which would be amazing to see, as he's been there all Grand Prix and he really did show what he's got in qualifying. That's a brilliant camera angle for us to see. Now going through the bridge section and into the final corner, final chicane, and now into the final corner, where you want to just try and tap the brake a little bit and sail it in there. And he's got DRS, and he's going to make huge chunks out of the gap between first and second. He's going to try and keep it within the white lines. He's going to ride on board of them now. As we see, just jump back a little bit there, and he's in the slipstream. But is it going to be enough? I don't think it is going to be enough. Hopefully he doesn't repeat what he did last lap and almost go into the back of him. But we're going to see how much he can close under braking, and it's just amazing how much he can gain under braking here. And he does keep it controlled finally into turn, I think 5? No, turn 7. I know it's turn 7. Oh, it's turn 6 in this Grand Prix. I know I say in this Grand Prix a lot, but there's nothing else to say. Into the Singapore Sling section, and just try and close up his first win if this carries on. As I can see in the background, and look at the consistency. That's front wing, surely that's front wing. No, it's not. Lord Zed, can he make the dive bomb into turn 1? Not quite, but he's going to try into turn 6. Surely he's going to try. He's going to try and make the move, and it's just not quite getting the racing line right through here. He's going to ride on board with him now. He's going to be in the search for him. He's just not close enough again. Oh, and I think I might need to. Yeah, I think. Is there an issue? I think no, we're okay. We're okay. The internet's just not really holding up for me too much today. And I have to turn off the stream on my phone to check the chat, but it's okay because we've got Lord Zed catching Scavney. They're right next to each other, but Lord Zed, I mean, if it was any other track, he would be cleanly passed, but because it's Singapore, he just can't make the move. Conman's left the session after a horrid weekend for him. Just come back stronger next week, and I'm sure you'll pick up a good result. And Lord Zed closing in to Scavney. But the rest of the field's very spaced out, except from Brian, who is going to try and get past Spaceman on the final lap, maybe make some magic happen on the final 2 laps of the Grand Prix. And DRS is now open for Lord Zed, and he will be trying to get past Scavney, who I'm pretty sure I'm getting his name wrong every time. He can correct me, as K-Dog's retired in this Grand Prix. He's P3, she was P3, sorry, and now she's DNF'd, and that is going to give Spaceman the podium. Surely. If, well, it all depends how many penalties have been served as Spaceman lets him through, and I just don't think he should have. Spaceman, a very respectful driver, has let Brian through for no particular reason. We are going to stay on board with Scavney because he's drove an absolutely amazing Grand Prix. His teammates just DNF, but doesn't take away from his performance one bit. And yeah, we're just going to see what Lord Zed can do, and I think he's dropping off a bit, so maybe his tyres are gone now, and I think he'll take P2 anyway from the situation that he was in, compared to lap 10. He was way down, and he had to pit 3 times in a row, and I mean, it's been a 6-stop race, I believe, for him. I'll check, because yep, 6-stop race for him, and it went around Singapore. That's not really what you see every day, and I'm pretty sure he's done a very good job of recovering. I'm sure he'll be wanting to get that P1 finish, but I just don't think it'll be coming today. And yeah, it's just really unfortunate for all of the DNFs in this Grand Prix. I'm sure thanks Conman for the positivity in chat. As Brian, who was pretty much last in this Grand Prix, is coming round for the podium. So he was last, he was first, and he was back to last, and now he's back up into 3rd place. For him, I don't think Lord Zed can really make much of a gap, and I'm getting a lot of positivity from the race chat, which thanks for you guys, thanks to you guys are here that makes it happen. So really, I'm just here to talk over it. Lord Zed and Scavney are going to come around the final sector now. It's going to be Scavney, clearly going to be Scavney, because Lord Zed has a penalty, so no matter what happens, I'm pretty sure it's going to be going to be Scavney as he's going to come around the final corner now. It's been a brilliant race for him, start to finish. And he's led, or at least been in the top 2 the whole time. Fireworks go off. Scavney wins here in the Singapore Grand Prix for the FIRL League race on F1 2019. Great race from him. Lord Z comes home in P2. Another fantastic performance from our champion of the world in season 1, and who has made a 6-stop strategy work. So brilliant job from him. We're going to watch Brian come around the final sector now. It's been a difficult day for him, but I'm sure he'll be happy with P3 as he skates round the final sector. And he'll come around the final corner. Hopefully he doesn't spin on the final corner. He's going to keep it steady, and he's going to come home for the podium position in Singapore. Great performance from him. Spaceman kept it steady the whole time. Corner cuts through the final corner and takes P4. And the final person who will cross the line will be Cam, who has had a difficult race too, but at least he didn't DNF, so he'll come home with some solid points, which I believe he will get 10 points in this Grand Prix, and that's all you need for the Renault team. GG. Vamos. So, yeah, as you can see, the Racing Point lifting up to the first place trophy, and spraying the champagne all over the team, having a great result for the American, and Lord Z coming home P2, the only Canadian on the podium, and it's a full North American podium, as it is most weekends here in FIRL. And Scavney picks up his first win of the season. Great job from him, and picks up some solid points for the championship. Lord Z picks up P2 with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so I'm sure we'll be happy with that. Actually, no, sorry, Santi picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but good result for him anyway. And Brian picks up P3, Spaceman P4, Cam, no penalties, great job from him in P5. K-Dog retires on the last 3 laps, really unfortunate for her. And Drum up P7, Santi P8 with the fastest lap, Tifosi P9, really unfortunate on the safety car restart, and P10 was Conman. And I think the DNF on the first lap was the Pink Spartan, who crashes out, which is really unfortunate for him. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's league race, please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more league racing content on F1 2019 and F1 2020. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and goodbye.